Why is Isaac's name linked to Sarah, while Ishmael's name is linked to God? The names Isaac and Ishmael, and their connections to Sarah and God, respectively, are rooted in their biblical narratives found in the book of Genesis. Isaac's name and connection to Sarah. Isaac's name, Hebrew Yitzchak, means he will laugh or he laughs. The naming of Isaac is directly linked to Sarah's reaction upon hearing the news that she would bear a son in her old age. There are two significant moments where laughter is mentioned in relation to Isaac's birth. 1. In Genesis 18 verse 12, Sarah laughs to herself when she overhears the 3 visitors telling Abraham that she will have a son the following year. Sarah is past the age of childbearing, so the idea seems laughable to her. 2. In Genesis 21 verse 6, after Isaac is born, Sarah says, "God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me." Thus, Isaac's name is a reminder of the joy and surprise his birth brought, especially to his mother Sarah. It signifies the fulfillment of God's promise to Abraham and Sarah that they would have a son, despite their advanced ages. Ishmael's name and connection to God. Ishmael's name, Hebrew Yishmael, means God will hear or God hears. The naming of Ishmael is tied to God's response to the plight of his mother, Hagar. When Hagar is pregnant with Abraham's child, she flees into the desert to escape mistreatment by Sarah. There, an angel of the Lord finds Hagar and speaks to her. 1. In Genesis 16 verse 11, the angel of the Lord tells Hagar, "You are now pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery." Hagar is comforted by the knowledge that God has heard her affliction, which is reflected in the name given to her son. Ishmael's name thus signifies God's awareness of Hagar's suffering and his intervention on her behalf. In summary, Isaac's name is linked to Sarah due to the joy and laughter associated with the miraculous circumstances of his birth, reflecting the fulfillment of God's promise to her. Ishmael's name is linked to God because it signifies God's compassionate response to Hagar's distress, highlighting his attentiveness to human suffering.
From an Islamic perspective, the etymology of the name Ishmael has been linked to the perceived divine response to Abraham's supplication, as mentioned in Surah 37, verses 100 to 101. How do proponents of this view support and elucidate this argument? Supporters of the theory connecting the name Ishmael to Abraham's prayer in Surah 37, verses 100 to 101, argue that in these verses, Abraham requests a pious son. The verse reads, "My Lord, grant me a child from among the righteous." So we gave him good tidings of a forbearing boy. The Quran mentions that after his prayer, Abraham was blessed with Ishmael. This connection between the supplication and the birth of Ishmael is seen as evidence of divine intervention and fulfillment of Abraham's request. Furthermore, proponents argue that the etymology of the name Ishmael itself can be interpreted as meaning God hears or God listens. This interpretation aligns with the idea that Ishmael was born in response to Abraham's prayer and serves as a reminder of God's ability to hear and answer prayers. Overall, supporters of this view believe that the story of Abraham's supplication and the birth of Ishmael exemplify divine intervention and serve as a testament to God's responsiveness to his followers' prayers.